Hello, here you are. How are you doing this evening? Everybody's here. Hi, Rose. How are you doing? Hello, Ali. How are you doing tonight? We're supposed to do, I found out we cannot do our wine, so we have to do it on a Zoom. I will arrange a special Zoom call so everybody can see each other's faces, and see how it's going on. So tonight it's going to be a financial night because I got 4 questions. Somebody said, you are not doing finances anymore, so I have to put what I'm really as. Hello, my dear. Hello, Belinda. I'm going to have to put what it is that I am all about. Because apparently, let me see, I need to put my glasses on so I make sure I don't make a mistake. I should have Ali doing this. So that's what is going on. The 5 pillars of prosperity. Prosperity. That is all it is about. Anybody wants to pin this? Knock yourself out. Hi. How are you guys? So I had some questions tonight. And it was amazing. So I wanted to be springy, and this is just, spring clothes. But we cannot do that. We cannot have our wine on IG Live. So we're going to do a Zoom. We'll do a Zoom for those faithful 8, 10 of you that show up all the time. We'll do a Zoom one evening, and everybody can see each other's faces, and we can ask questions of each other and talk about how great and wonderful we all are to each other. But tonight, here you are, and it's the Tessa-Marie show. And of course, you can always join me. I have 4 financial questions to answer, and it's really up to you. The questions are there, or they're going to be there. And what I want you to look at is to see what it is. I put the 5 pillars of prosperity. That's what I stand with. That is my brand. That is who I am. I believe each and every one of us should be prosperous. And that is one of the most important things. What can I do? My debt is choking me. Actually, that is one of the questions, guys. So my brand is the 5 pillars of prosperity. What can I do? My debt is choking me. So when somebody says to me, what can I do? My debt is choking me. And as the person said, I said, okay, do you know how much debt you have? No. The first thing you have to do when your debt is choking you, hi Rosha, I keep promising to call Rosha. Rosha is going to, she's going to just cut me off. Don't do that, Rosha, I'll get to you. I act like they say in French, soon, we'll be there soon. Just get it going. So one of the things we have to know for sure is that if you're choking in debt, and when somebody uses those terms to me, even when I was way at the bank, I remember I would say to them, do you really know how much you owe? And of course the answer would be no. I have no idea how much I owe. And that is something people must understand. In order for you to make a statement like that, is because it's overwhelming. And the first thing you have to do is to know what you owe. Know how much you owe. When somebody sits in front of me, based on the 5 pillars of prosperity, I will say, how much money do you owe? How much is on your credit card? How much is there? And you would see the action going, the head scratching, they take their hat off, they do this, they do that. And they would say to me, maybe about, and the eyes would be moving, 10,000. So I said, 10,000, there's no way it's 10,000 with all those zeros. There's something wrong with this number. So you have to come back to it. And there the questions are coming. So I said, okay, fine. You have to come up to it. Find out how much it is. Come back next week, bring all your bills, and let's calculate it. And as sure as tomorrow is Saturday, the total amount could maybe be closer to 25,000 or 18,000 and lots more at the end, numbers at the end. I call them the tail numbers. The tail numbers do matter, and that is something we have to know for sure. So these are the things people have to understand. Your debt, you must know how much you owe. It's funny though, the same person that tells me a number that they owe, that same person does not know how much money they have either, or how much money they make either. So I have to always say, how much you own? What do you own? And maybe how much do you get paid? 40? And I don't know. 40,000? 52,960? How much it is? And they're always rounding off the numbers to me. Rocco, no wine tonight. We're having our wine in a Zoom call. So that was one of the reasons why I said you have to know how much money you owe. And you cannot be afraid to look at it. You are the one that incurred the debt. And why are you running from it? People who owe, when the bills come and they don't want to pay, they take it and they put it, there's always a fruit dish on the table. They stick it under the dish. They stick it over here. Nobody's looking at the full amount. And that is what you have to remember. One of the things you have to know for sure is how much money you owe. That is the only way you can take control of that. You have to list it. I get them to list it. There's a young lady, she comes on often, Lisa, and Lisa will tell you that that's what I had her do, and she didn't know. And I said, no, Lisa, you have to know. You cannot not know, because you're the one that incurred it. And this is one of the things we have to do. You have to start reading my book. You bought the book. You sent me a picture, Rose. Get going. So, hi, Debbie. Thanks for joining. So you have to know. Debbie's going to say, where is the wine? Debbie, we have to do the wine on a Zoom call. That's what I was told. I put mine in the trash. You didn't put yours in your trash. You haven't got yours yet. So stop being a ninny, Donato. So anyway, the thing about it is that you have to know how much you owe. Yoko has read the book. Yoko has the book. And Yoko can tell you. When she opened that book, she said, oh my God, I love to read that book. It's like a story. And so does Rosie. You have a copy. So tell us what you have read so far. Write a note in there. And the whole gang is there. You guys came for wine, right? We have to do the wine on a Zoom call. We'll arrange it. I promise you, I'll arrange it. You can see each other's faces and you can know who you are. You were so close to each other. It's amazing, that group of mine. So anyway, so one of the things you have to remember, make a list of all the things you owe. And that's the only way you're going to do it. Don't guess it. Look at your thing on the internet, or look at your actual bills and do that. So the second question is on here already. I have to go find it and see what it is. I know the first one. So that is how you have to do. The second question is a little bit, question number 2. How can I save when I owe so much money? Wow. You have to save. You must save. I don't care how much money you owe, you must save. You don't save as much as what you would pay with the rent or the car payment or the bills or what you cost for food and all of that. No. You don't save that. That is not all you save. You save a little bit. $20 a pay, $10 a pay, $15 a pay. I was saving $1.75 every 2 weeks. It wasn't a lot, and somebody asked that question today. I did a live with Belinda, a Zoom for her project, for her clients. And one of the questions she asked me, the clients are asking her, so I guess she comes to me with that, is what should I do with my raises? So I can only tell you from what I did, what I teach, what my people that I have coached have done. And that's what I say. The raise is to be saved. You have to live with that. What you were living with before you got that raise, that's all you should live on. The rest, which is not big, should go into the savings account automatically. The government, as I said the other day, the government does not trust you to pay them. That's why the employer takes the money from your account and from your paycheck and sends to them. But you, with all your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and you're so good at it, and you're so perfect, oh, I'll pay myself. I will run to the bank and I'll put the money in. You won't. The money that is left in your checking account is like going through a sieve, like what they call a strainer. You put in what you strain the pasta in, all these holes. That's what it's like. So that's why you have to make sure that whatever raise you get, immediately have them do it automatically for you. There is a book I'm written called The Automatic Millionaire. And that is true. You can end up being a millionaire by being automatically taking care of things that need to take care. It's not just savings, it's investing. When you invest, you have to do it automatically. You cannot just pick up the phone and say, hey broker. By the time you pick up the phone to call the broker, the stock price has gone or they have shut it down. So the point is that, how do I save when I owe so much money? Start small. Start like a seed in the ground. It's spring. Look at the size of the plants we are buying in the nurseries. And when we put them in the ground, we water them, we fertilize them, we pay attention to them, they grow. And we have this big pumpkin, we have this big head of turnip, we have all this wonderful. You will see my garden because I show it and I show you what I grow. So think of that. So when you have a lot of debt, you have to do both. You must pay the debt, but you must save some. If not, you will end up in the debt spiral, because this is a very difficult thing to do. The money you are saving when you have a debt is called the emergency money. A regular family, ordinary family emergency is between $1,500 and $2,000 when it happens. That's what the record has shown. So, if you save that amount and you have it in there and something caused, like Murphy, they say it's Murphy's Law, what is going to happen, it will happen. When Murphy comes at your door and he raps on your door, you can say, you know what, Murphy, I have insurance. I have you covered. I have an emergency account that will take care of you. I will never increase my debt again and make my credit card go up again. The credit card guys, if you have credit card debt, lines of credit debt, I can guarantee you they have the ability to kill you. And you cannot kill them. They will destroy you because they never die. They have a life eternal. As long as you're alive, they're going to be alive. Because when you pay them, you get to use them again. You pay them, you get to use them again. There's only two types of debts that has a lifespan, a mortgage and a student loan. Everything else will come and bite you in the butt forever until it drains the living blood out of you. So when you have debt, you should still try to save a little. So I want you guys to feed me some information. I will talk about this, but tonight is Friday night. It's normally the night to go dancing, the night to do things, the night to eat wings and whatever. Wings and pizza, the night to have a beer, the night to have wine, but they said we cannot do it on IG Live, they close us down. So we'll do it on Zoom. They cannot close us down there. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you have done, what you know, things you are hearing. A lot of people are suffering now because of COVID and debt. So it's Friday night and it's the pillars of prosperity. We always talk about that. If the financial is broken, the other four are also like that. So financial is down like this. So there is emotional, there is mental, and there is spiritual. It's all God's fault. And the physical, you start eating things that you're not supposed to eat and it is crashing. So they're all weak. They cannot support you. That's what happens to the pillars of prosperity when one is broken. So question number 3. I have no idea what bad credit score is. You know, guys, that I love. That I really, really love, because so many people don't know what a bad credit score is. A credit score from 700 and up. So 700 to about 850, 900, excellent. So 7 is not as excellent as 900, but you're on your way up. You're going up, you know. But anything below 700, not so good. And you know what is the worst killer to destroy your credit? Is late payments. Late payment. So your bill was due today, is Friday, and you didn't pay it today, or you didn't pay it yesterday, and if you paid it after 6 tonight, guess what? It's late. It is late. After 6, everything in the banking industry is dated for Monday's date. So now you paid it on Monday. And you are not 1 day late. You are not late for Saturday or Sunday or Monday. You are now 33 days late. And that is what kills it. So your bill is supposed to pay on the day they give you. That means the money should be in their account on that date, not you going to the machine and paying it. It takes 2 to 3 days to get there, although we have a computer system. So you have to pay that bill 3 days earlier. It's preferably that way. If you pay it on the day it's due and they get it 2 days later, they will say you're 32 days late, and they will report it to the credit bureau, to Experian, to whatever the other names are, Equifax, name them. And it's late. So 30 days late is not existing. It's 30 days late, you're late. 31 and 32, and the worse it gets, each time it's late, it brings down your credit score. It is saying that you have not honored the arrangement you made with your creditor. And as I said, that Bible, that Quran, that Torah, those books is lessons in it. It tells you, I think in the book of Proverbs, the debtor is a slave to the creditor. You are literally a slave when you owe money, because you must pay them. You have to pay them first. So your credit score goes down when your payments are late. When you miss a payment and that due date, it's not in their money, it's not in their drawer, it's not in their coffers, you are late. And every so many months, they report to the credit agency. So when you're 30 days late, 60 days late, and that takes down your score. By the time your score reaches 500, you're doomed. It takes a long time to build it up. You have to establish yourself. And that is what is a bad credit score. Below 700. By the time you hit 500, it's done. And really, if you know you pay your bills on time, I don't believe, it's one thing I've always taught, do not go checking your credit score. They charge you money to do that. They charge you $30 to get a credit report. What are you doing with your credit score? The governments in both North America and in US and Canada has dictated that they must give you a credit report for free annually. A credit report will not have the score, but it will show you all your credit is at good standing. If they're at good standing, you know your score is high. You don't need to pay to find that out. Take that $30, go out to dinner, or put it in your savings account. And I'm sure it's more than $30 now. So the person who needs to know your score is the person who you want to get credit from, and they pay for it. The banks and all the financial company pays a fee to get your credit score whenever you apply for credit. So you don't need to get it. You're not giving yourself credit. You don't need to know. You know your credit is bad. You're not paying your bills. So why are you paying them money to find out what you already know? So we let our emotions get in our way when our credit is bad. I need to know the score. And what are you going to do about it? You can't fix it now anyway. And you cannot fix it overnight. It takes a plan. It takes talking to someone like me. Somebody who will put a little bit of effort into you. Who will say, this is what you do. When you want to reestablish your credit, you try to pay the bills properly. Then you try to save. You try to do a retirement fund of some kind. That retirement fund is key. Because what it says to them is the creditors is that, okay, I understand they had that before, but now it looks like they're on track again, they're trying to save for their future, and they give you a break based on that. But you're going to need guidance. You cannot navigate those waters by yourself because you don't know. That's not your job. Seek help, ask for advice, find somebody who's willing to spend the time to help you. DM me, I'll give you all the guidance. I will not go to the bank for you, but I will tell you how to speak to them. I will tell you what to say to them because I come from the inside out. So that's when you have a bad credit score, don't get a credit report where you pay for it. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. You already know that. So what's your point? Okay? So anyway, question number 4 says, what do they mean by written off credit? You know how many times? Oh dear, you know how many times I had to deal with these people telling me, oh, I don't worry. I remember a doctor at Scarborough Gen. He's dead now. I won't call his name, but he was dead. He's dead. So when he was in university, you know, they give you a $500 credit card to start you on the, you know, that's their job, right? Every bank is in there and you get 4, you get 5 from the 5 big banks and you think you're king top. So this young guy, when he came to get a mortgage and a doctor, and he was buying a million and something house. And we knew him, but he was so arrogant. And he came in and he said to me, Tessa-Marie, I need to get my mortgage, la 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 la. I said, fine, I'll take you to somebody. Aren't you doing it? No, I don't do mortgages. I'm the manager. You're going to go over there. So he went, and then all of a sudden I saw him with my staff coming, and his eyes are bulging. I said, oh no, what is going on? And he said, Tessa-Marie, I need you to come to see what's going on over there in my office. I went in, and he said to me, I told you you should have done it. I said, I told you I don't do it. So anyway, I looked at him, and I saw, huh? I smiled. He said, it's not funny. I said, oh yeah, it's funny. I said, you have a written off credit card, but it's not written off. And you need to pay that money, otherwise your mortgage for your $1 million house is not going to be approved. I have money, you know that? It's $1 million. What is a $500 credit card? I said, oh yeah? I said, is that what it started off as? And he said, well, I gave to me in university and I didn't pay it when I spoke to my uncle. My uncle is a millionaire. He said to me, oh, don't worry, they'll write it off. I said, is that what he told you? He said, yeah. I said, well, this is how it is. You now owe that other bank $5,600. And if I were you, I would go there and ask them to give me an up-to-date balance, because on the credit bureau, it is saying $5,600 was written off. We don't know when it was written off, and interest is still being calculated. So you need to sort this out. He said, well, I'll just take $5,600 to them. I'll do that right now. I said, no, find out first. So anyway, he matched over there, got his $5,600. We sent the thing up. He came back. They said, we cannot approve that. He still owes $1,200. Called him. In the meantime, it took days for everything to back up. So he had to pay the mortgagee. And anyway, the person he was buying from, he had to pay them $5,000 for the 5 days they were holding, waiting for him to close the deal. And the lawyer was that. Anyway, he cost him a lot of money. It's not written off. When it says it's written off, it's not forgiven, and it's never forgiven. It's in a vault. It's in the archives. I can see it at the bank. I can see, if I see written off credit card, I want to know what it is. So I'm going to press the button, and it will tell me what it is. So this is what you have written off. Doesn't mean you never have to pay it. You will always face it. So let's say it's written off. It wasn't a lot, and it was actually written off. The point is, it is still a mark on your credit. I have to wonder now, I'm giving you credit, if you are going to honor the arrangements you're making with me right now, or if you're going to let it fall and walk away and say, oh, it's written off. And when somebody is laughing and they're saying, I got the bank, hey guys, all of us pay for it. The bank does not lose. The interest rate goes up. You know, the limits decrease, and it affects us all. So when somebody has a car accident in your neighborhood, it affects the price of your car insurance. It's the same thing. We never win. Those powers that be win. So when somebody's enjoying the freedom of having walked away from credit, the only person losing is all of us little people. The bank won't lose. The companies don't lose. They have other ways and means to make up the lost. And furthermore, they are a company. They can write off the loss. It's the cost of business, the cost of doing business. So don't be happy with your friend, your neighbor, your family member that comes to you and says, oh, I took the bank. Nobody takes nobody. The bank is a bank. They have written off laws, really. They get a credit from the government for your bad debt. But then they collect money from all of us to make up for it. So there you go. So that's why I'm glad we had these 4 questions tonight. I see we maybe have a couple questions here. Let me see what that is. So, is there such a thing as good debt? Of course, Zan is asking that question. Yes, Zan. Good debt, a mortgage, and the ability to study, have a loan for school, that's a good debt. So let us take that together. A good debt, so you buy a house. So I'm going to put a word in here for you guys to see. And look at the word, A-M-O-R-T, amortization. So if I look at it and I put the A, I'm doing another word, so I'm going to put an A and capital that A so that it looks good. And I move away. Okay, so the A is there. And the next word is M-O-R-T. So if you have any idea what that means, that word means dead in French. It died. The mortgage has an amortization. It dies. So after 30 years of paying it, it's going to die. It's right there. That is what that word means. Amortization. It will die. Icale mort. So they say mort in French. So it's going to die. So that's a good debt. It has a lifespan. Your student loan, although it takes forever to pay, it's amortized. It has a lifespan. A car loan has a lifespan because you paid for 4 years, then it's dead. A credit card doesn't die. This thing just keeps going over and over and over like the parrot in the Australian commercial. And the thing that happens to it is that when you have got to your limit, they say you are such a good person paying $10 a month, we want to give you another $2,000. So guess what? It's like you are standing in a hole and you're digging the dirt while you're standing in it. Are you going to get out? How soon will you, how long is it going to take you to realize the hole is getting deeper as you're tossing the dirt out. And there comes a time you have to figure out, how am I getting back up here? That is what credit cards and line of credit debt is. So I'm posting that for you guys to see it. So that is what it is. Mort is dead. Amortization, that means you're dead. So your good debt is a debt that has a lifespan. Your mortgage, your student loan, they both take a long time to pay. And why it is a good debt, furthermore, let me give you more explanation. The car is a semi-quasi-good debt. You need a car to go to your work, you need a car to do this, you need a car to do that. So it has a point, it has a value. It dies, it loses value as you pull it out every day. A house, though, grows in value. It's a good debt, plus it makes you money. Plus, you get some more money from it. Whereas, if you look at the credit card, there's nothing good about it. So the other thing we have to look at is that the student loan. You now have training. You're qualified. You went to school to learn to do something. So yes, that is good debt. Because as you get experience in your job, you're going to make more money. You're going to get better. So the debt you incurred to go to college has helped you to be where you are today. The money you loan to get the house and your value 10 years later, in Ontario, Canada, these houses go like 15-20% in a year. And that is on $1. So come on, where are you going to get this type of return? So that's why it is a good debt. So Zan, I hope that answers your question. I'm glad you had that question. So let's see what my other question is. Yoko, how about paying annual fees for credit card? Is it a good idea? You know what, Yoko? People pay annual fees so they get something from the credit card. So if it is so good for you, some people really believe if I pay the annual fees and they give me a 2% back, but you have to look at the cost of the annual that you're paying. So if you're getting 2% on what you buy, are you using your credit card all the time? Is it worth it? Or are you purposely putting yourself in debt to do that? If you're using a credit card and you want to make money out of it, hi Kathleen, one of the things you have to remember for sure is that you pay that credit card off every month. You must pay that credit card off every month. If you carry a balance, then paying the annual fee to get a 2% cashback is a waste of money because the interest on the balance you're carrying is 20%. How does it drive, guys? So paying for a credit card to get an annual fee because I'm getting 2.5%, but you're carrying a balance of 19.99% or 22, it's gone up 25%? How is that good math? Think about it. No, don't take a credit card to get a cashback just because you think you can do. Hi, Tiggy. Hi, Patrick. So that is one of the questions. No, it's not a good idea. Rosita, is it better to buy a car or lease a car? Well, that's a question that I like to answer, because if you lease a car, you have a write-off. If you have a business, it is better for you, because they say that if you're a self-proprietor, you can do that. Now, if you don't own a business and you cannot write off the expense of that car against the business, then guess what happens? You're paying for half of the car. The lease is based on a percentage of the car. Maybe not half, it used to be. I don't know exactly what it is today. So it's a matter of where you are. If you have a small business and you're using your car for business and you lease it, you have to talk to your accountant. Your accountant will tell you, for the state where you are or the province where you are, what is best for you. It is best, though, to lease it if you are running a business, because you can write certain things off it. You buy a car, you're paying for the whole car. You lease a car, after the lease period, if you have gone over the mileage they give you, or the car has any dents or this, or it needs a new tire, it needs new brake, you have to give it to them almost to the way you got it. So it has to be a choice. You have to work it into a choice. If you lease that car, remember, you need new tires, you need new brakes, you need no scratches, no dents, and you certainly cannot go over on your mileage. You can. They will just add it to the next car you lease from them. So you're in a hole again. So you have to do your homework based on where you're living and find out. And if you have a business, talk to your accountant. Have you ever heard of Dave Ramsey? Well, who hasn't? Who hasn't? Although he got in a lot of trouble in the recession or in the COVID time. Of course I heard of Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said a lot of things that I, at a very young age, disagreed with. He said, if you have debt, you should pay it off first before you save. And he said, all you need in a savings is $1,000. And we all know that's not enough for emergency. So, of course, he has good things, but there's some things I didn't agree with, and I still don't agree with that. I believe if you don't save some money while you're paying down the debt, you will end up in what I coined the debt spiral. And the debt spiral is, you can think of it, I can try to explain it. Somebody said you need a board so you can show this. So your debt is a bigger circle. And you look at the debt and you say, you know what, if I pay everything I can towards it, I can pay it off in 4 years. And over there, the size of a dime is your savings account. So the debt is always bigger than the savings. So there's this tiny dime here. So you're paying, you ignore the savings, because Dave Ramsey said, don't save. And the other one, Susie Orman, also said that. And that is rubbish. Now they're taking it back. So anyway, that little dot is sitting there, and you have ignored it. But you're paying down the debt. You're going down. Year 1, it's coming smaller. Year 2, it's smaller. Year 3, it got really small. Then all of a sudden, this face appears over here. A sad face, crying tears. The furnace broke down. The furnace didn't break down, the car broke down. You need new brakes. You need this, you need that. But you have nothing over there in that saving dot. That 10 cents is still 10 cents. But you have paid down the debt. So you look at it, you've done it for 3 years. You've worked really hard at it. And you know, we human, we love to reward ourselves. So now you have nowhere else to go. Savings has nothing. So you get the credit card out. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Hi, friend. Here you are. You go, you pay for you shut off the monster that is screaming at you, the emergency. You get rid of it. And then you know, typical human nature. Oh, God, I've been paying this for 3 years. I deserve something. I need a new coat. The children can do with new this. Maybe we should get this. And before you know it, you are further into debt than when you started, because we are rewarding ourselves. But just stay with me for a minute and listen to that. So if you save $10 every week for 52 weeks for those 3 years, you would have $1,560 saved. If at the same time you were paying down that debt, you were putting $10 a week in that, you'd have $520 a year. It's not a lot. But over 3 years, you would have $1,560. Now, when that emergency showed up, and you would not have to go to the debt, to the credit card or the line of credit. You say, you know what, I have that money here, let me take care of this thing. You go, you take the 1,500, you wipe it off. And you continue paying down the debt, and you continue putting $10 in that savings account. That's how you do it. That's a sure plan to win. And I know, because I've taught it and I've worked it, and that's what the 5 pillars of prosperity are. And that's what you guys have to know. Learn from the best. Don't go and learn from a man that just keeps saying whatever you want and you cannot question him. Have you ever heard, yeah, I did that, and Zanderman, you're paying it down. I want to start investing in stocks market. What do you think? Well, it's a nice idea. I'm not going to put water on your parade, but you need to educate yourself. Somebody said, I can invest in the stock market. What do you go? You have to think, what stock? What do you know about the market? What do you want to buy? Do you know? How much can you buy? You have to buy stocks. You must buy a minimum of 100 when you invest in the stock market. So where are you going? So my advice to you is that before you invest in the stock market, talk to your bank, your financial institution, and ask them to introduce you to mutual funds. Mutual funds is a basket of stocks that is put together based on you, on your ability to tolerate risk. So they have 4 or 5 levels. So the least risky ones would be something like the GIC, the term deposit, the bonds. Then you have income fund, which is a little bit more risky. You go, and this one makes no money. The first one is just paying you 2 cents on a dollar. It's a money market fund. You get into the index fund, you get into the 4Xs, and you go until you get into the really, really volatile ones, which would be like emerging countries, India, South America, countries like that. And you cannot control that. You have to have a stomach for it. You come back, you can invest. They would put you in, based on how you feel. They can put you into the electric companies. We must have pay for hydro. We must have water. So these are stable. The banks, they pay a dividend every year. So they're risky, but not as risky as you investing in something in Latin America, for example. So that's the extreme. And the other end is the money market account, which is your GIC and your term deposit. Your bonds and stuff like that go up that way. Now, they're going to ask you a series of 24 questions. And one of the questions they will ask you is that if you hear the interest rates go up, how will you feel? Are you going to panic? So if you say, yes, I don't want to lose my money, then they cannot put you up there. Because the market, when you look at the lines and they're going like that, that is called volatile. They're very volatile. It's like a storm happening. It's going up, it's going down, it's a rah, 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 and it's constant. So that's not for you. If they say to you, you hear that the market crash, the price of stocks has dropped, the interest rates went up, are you going to be able to sleep? No. You're going to jump, or you're going to come in the morning in the bank and say, I want my money, and take your money out. So stock investment is for the long term, 10 years or more. There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. Get rich quick. There's no such thing as that. It takes time. You can make it, but it takes time. Right now, the market is really bullish. So when I use the word bull, I mean bullish. Really like a bull. It's just raging, right? Stocks are going. The market is doing well. The Canadian dollar is fighting against the US, doing really well. The banks are thriving. A lot of companies, Apple is higher than it was before, and all these different companies. Amazon is the same thing. And then the other end, when the recession or the whatever you call it, it's called a bear, B-E-A-R, slow, strong, not moving, just sitting there like this. And that's what the market is about. So before, it's a nice idea, it's a good thought, but educate yourself. Visit your bank and let them teach you. If the person does not want to take you there, then you need to stop and say, okay, I need to go somewhere until I get somebody else. So let me see if you have any more question. And no good debt, annual fees, Guess what, guys? I answered all your questions tonight, and everybody is really good. It was great. So what do you think? Was that a good session? So let me know. Let me know how you feel. And I'm glad you had questions. Yoko, thank you. Zan, thank you. Donato, mutual funds are the worst to invest in. No case of the fees associated with them. Everything has a fee. You ever saw what the broker charges? I have news for you. Mutual funds are not the worst. That is where the small investor begins. He has to start somewhere. With the highest fees associated to them, no, not in all cases. There's always exception to the rule. That's why you educate yourself. They're not the worst. You must pay fees. Let me tell you something, Donato. There isn't anything in this world you pay that doesn't have a price. They are doing the work for you. They need to be paid. That is the law of averaging. That is what it is. I work, I get paid. You work for somebody, you get paid. They work to make your investment work, you need to pay them. There is no way. That is the people like the people who say they don't want to pay income tax. And when COVID hit, they had no money, like the barbers who never filed their income tax return. You cannot live in a country and don't honor the tax system. You cannot have somebody work for you and expect them to do it for free. Why? Who made you so right? No, we cannot do that. That is not the rule of God. He said, let give to Caesar what is Caesar and to God what is his own. They want you to stay in debt. That's how they make money and feed the machine. They don't want you to stay in debt. You choose to stay in debt. They're not tying you to it. I had a 6'10" man come in the bank one day, and he decided that he told me, you know, Michelle Langford, the bank knew I couldn't pay the credit card, and they gave it to me. And I said, they knew? He said, yeah. So I'm not paying it. I said, so the bank went to the liquor store and charged all this liquor and all these things that I'm seeing on this statement. No, I did it. I said, and you don't want to pay for it and you're blaming the bank. We have to accept responsibilities for what we do. The bank offers you a credit card. They don't push it down your throat. That is what I keep saying to you. The bank is not your friend. It's a business. They have to make money just like you want to get paid. You wouldn't work for free, would you? So when the person at the bank is smiling their pearly white teeth at you and making you feel great, that is not because they love you. That's their job, people. That's their job. That's why they're paid to do. They will get fired if they don't do it. So you must understand that. And it's not a feed-rich machine. You're wrong. You want to eat, you get paid, you work, and you want your money. Same thing goes here. You wave a hi, TD. Patrick joined. Kathleen doesn't have a comment. She's just a brilliant financier. That was interesting story about having an account written off. Yeah, people think it's written off. It's not written off. It's just sitting there in the archives waiting for you to come looking. And that's what happened. I promised myself to sleep early. We'll catch at this safe night. Hello and good night. Bye, Nina. And so Rose, hi, Rosie. So there you go. Everything is fine. You guys got all your answers tonight. And it was great. So, and Rosie Rose was there too. So Tessa-Marie, have you ever heard of Financial Peace University? Yes, I've heard about it, but it's not really, check it out. I think you should. It's in the United States, really big. So check it out. You will find out a little bit more about it. Zan said to screw Murphy. Yeah, Murphy comes, he doesn't ask any question. Financial peace is another way to make money. They're teaching you how to do it, and you want to do it. I want to hear Tessa's law. I have no laws, Zan. I just think that I am here to teach you. The broker is called a broker for a reason. They make you more broker. Oh, Donato, you're so negative. Tess looks relaxed and comfortable. Of course I am. Whenever I'm talking about money, I'm in the zone. I want to start investing. We talked about that. Excuse me, the interest is very bad here. I can imagine, Ali. I can imagine what it is in Iran. I'm sure it's bad. Of course, I'm Rosita. My name means a gift from God. Oh, you're so blessed. It's a wonderful name. So guys, thank you for all your wonderful times tonight. It was great having each and every one of you here. I answered all your questions and we have a lot of fun. So talk to you later. And you must have learned something. There's a few of you left. So I hope you got your pearl. your nuggets, your pearl, and your diamond. So have a wonderful Friday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9:30. Don't forget, I'm talking at 9:30 for Gentlemen from India. That should be fun. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. Bye. 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Don't forget.